That is not what we're doing in today's video. That was just a preview of what is to come. This is what we're doing today. If you haven't figured it out, yes, I got the sound mod made by Hang'em High working. It took a long time, and I want to personally thank Hang'em High for talking to me and guiding me on how to fix this. It turns out my version of the early access game is a bit different than your version of the game, and in fact, it seems to be different than the other YouTubers' version of the game. So I've got things no one else has, and that required some manipulation of a few text files just to make sure that the mod is corresponding with my version of the game. It took an hour or so and a lot of troubleshooting, but we got it working. You guys have been asking for it, and I'm here to deliver. If you couldn't also tell, I've personally modified the muzzle flashes. It looks sick. Is it over the top? Yes. We're using muzzle flashes from like a 37mm or 40mm gun on a 12.5mm Dushka. But in the darkness of night, it looks absolutely stunning. I believe, in fact, that very same muzzle flash would not look as bright or crazy during the night, because a gun with 37 to 40mm in caliber does not simply make that kind of fire and that kind of flame. So let's watch that again in case you missed it. That is just incredible, and it looks amazing in the night. Now, in daylight, it wouldn't be as flashy, but yeah, that's why I've decided to go with a nighttime scenario. It's also to mix things up. I don't want this to be an exact copy of the previous battle, so I have given the Soviets some more defensive units. We are premiering the Maxim machine gun. I can't believe we've done this for like 15 videos now, and not a single time have we used the Maxim machine gun. This is a specific one. This is a trench-mounted Maxim machine gun, and they've had 3 of these arrive to this front line to hold against a future incursion, one could say. And the Germans are at it again. They don't have 3 Tigers anymore, and they have instead got Panzer IVs and a Panther. So they've got 5 tanks, I believe, if I've done my math correctly, instead of 3. Or 5, because we're talking about the assault guns, the 2 Stugs. They will still be here. And someone said that I used too few men for the Germans. They outnumbered the Soviets with about like 60%. I think we saw the Soviets use around 60 to 70 men, and the Germans had around 120 or so. So not so unfair, considering the fact they had 5 tanks supporting them. But apparently this 100mm back here could handle it. We'll see if they can handle today's attack. Alright guys, so without further ado, let's try and get the battle started now. That intro sequence for the upcoming battle did take up some time, but we don't have to go through anything else here, because you can just watch the previous video to get the hang of it, all the Soviet positions, etc. But what I did think of when I realized what I had said about there being a former battle with no signs of it left, I decided to add the 2 destroyed tanks, one over there and one back there. I think that's pretty much where they were defeated in the previous video, if I can remember things correctly. And for the Tigers, well, we've got 3 wreckages here. One over here by the road, because I'm pretty sure one was knocked out there, and the other 2 were knocked out here. One did explode, but, you know, that was during the day. The smoke is cleared, and now it's just, you know, a scrap. So I think that adds enough of a feeling that there has been a battle here previously. So now, finally, after a lot of talk and technical discussion, we can get started. And regarding the technical discussions, I do want to go ahead and say that this sound mod is not just a matter of replacing some gun sounds. There's more work to it with lines of code to determine what sounds play at what range, etc, etc. And Hang'em High himself said the sound design is absolutely phenomenal in this game. All the engine sounds you're hearing are stock vanilla, none are replaced because they're absolutely fantastic. It's mostly just a few of the gun sounds, and I personally, after the recent update to the vanilla sound system, I could say I kind of much prefer the vanilla PPSH over the new one. But feast your ears on this ambience and enjoy today's battle. I think it's going to be fantastic. Yeah, I love hearing those MG34s go at it from the half tracks. Okay, how's it looking with the Dushkas? Here we go, boy. Oh, hear all those bullet cracks. And that muzzle flash is pretty spectacular. Oh, man down. He's gonna have to reload on his own now and take over. Very nice indeed. Okay, so none of the Maxims... Oh, this one's been triggered. You can see the belt feeding rounds into the gun and then coming out on the other side empty. Look at that. Very cool. A lot of explosions back here now as mortars are starting to land. Oof. All the half-tracks have gotten their infantry out, so that's good. We're looking at 5 half-tracks instead of 2, or 4, rather. Oh, actually, excuse me. We're looking at 6. So they've had an additional 2 per wave added, if I can remember things correctly. I did make an entire Berlin map to my best ability in between making this and then, you know, now recording it. So my memory's pretty occupied with building and ruins and stuff. While the advance is looking pretty good, they're getting infantry up here on the right side with these 2 additional half-tracks. The center is still holding for the Soviets, but that second wave has arrived with that Panther. 3 Panzer Js. They're going to be interesting to see. I think they might even provide better support for the infantry than the heavy armor. We have one hidden away there in that tree line. Okay, so I think I'm just going to have to get these moving up a bit. There we go. All half-tracks have unloaded their infantry, I assume. Yes? So we're off to a good start here for the German advance. Let's see if that Panther can outperform the Tiger. It's very nice to see all the tracer fire in the night as well. I feel like they've done some good work on the tracers too. Explosion sounds, very nice. Big advance now with half-tracks and infantry. This is looking very cinematic. Whew. We've got a storm of German infantry showing up on that right flank. That Maxim does not have any coverage of that right side, but it does have the center zeroed in. So let's see if it's going to open up. There we go. Slightly underwhelming sound for the Maxim. Oh, huge explosion in the center. That is one of the half-tracks. The Panther is still active. Ooh, I was just gonna have a listen to that PPSH, but I'm sure we'll be given a second opportunity. Like right now, that's a DP. Oh. There we go. Yeah. Oh. What? Talk about like self-spawning your own cover. I have no idea what just happened. That was crazy. But he's up at it, man. Okay, I'm gonna look at how beautiful that looks though with the burning body and the okay, that's the wrong thing to say, but the flames, let me rephrase it. The flames at night look very, very good. There's no way you can misunderstand that. Big explosions here. The center is still holding. Very nice look here of the Panther illuminated by the 2 burning half-tracks. With the Dushka up here, abandoned. Knocked out, one could say. A lot of mortar rounds landing in the force now. Is that close support? Armor has done better this time around. The Sis gun seems to be crude and active, but they're not engaging any armor, so I'm going to go ahead and have them send a guy out for close protection. I think these guys are better off fighting on foot now, just like in the last video. Let's see how they will fare. They should be able to enjoy some mortar support from the rear, unless all mortars are occupied with holding back the German advance. That Panther's lost its tracks. 100mm gun still active. Right now engaging Panthers. It's got a very nice ring to it, though. Once you can hear the gun, it sounds very nice. I wonder if there's a wooden pole or stake in the way here. Well, if that Panzer moves, that gun will fire. Oof. Let me see if I could just get rid of it. There we go. See if that'll help them out, or if there's perhaps still a blockage. They don't seem to be able to engage. There we go. That wooden pole was obstructing the vision, and I'm not having a 100mm sit silent just because of a little wooden pole. Oh, the way it threw up the armor skirts and some of the what do you call that? Like sparks almost. Very nice. And it's gonna cook off. Sometimes they explode, sometimes they just cook off. I have to say, I'm very impressed by the Soviet defense this time around as well. Yes, more armor is active. They have a Stug here, and a Panther is still active. It's engaging the 100mm, but that front shield tanked it quite nicely. I'm surprised it's still standing. Infantry getting closer now, supported by the half-tracks. Mortars are firing up close. There goes 3 Soviets in the trench line to a direct hit from that Panther. They're gonna have to be quick about this to even out the odds. Oh, they're just aiming terribly right now. I don't know if they're stressed out or whatever the reason might be, but their accuracy is not on par. Overshooting, undershooting. This range, shameful display. Could be that the gun is messed up too after pretty much taking a direct hit from a Panther. There goes one of the crewmen. 2 of the crewmen dead. There we go. Hit the top turret. Bounced. Ooh, direct hit from a mortar. Hit the top of that Stug. Might be enough to knock it out. Yep, it looks like it's smoking. Very interesting development here. I believe all Panzer IVs are down. This one could be active. I haven't seen it take a shot, but these 2 are definitely down. I would go as far and say that all 3 Panzer IV-Js are down. It's the Panther now remaining, and that is the last tank, because one of these Stugs must have been defeated elsewhere. Yeah, it's destroyed out here in the open. Look at all the craters left over now. Infantry is trying to advance with the help of half-tracks, but many are being shot dead in the open. That second line of infantry still holding. Like, all the Soviets had additionally now were 3 Maxim machine guns, all of which are pretty much knocked out already. The Germans have an additional 4 half-tracks and 4 very good tanks for the, situation instead of 3 slow Tigers. Like, 3 Panzer IVs and 1 Panther. I would take that in a situation like this over 3 Tigers. Because we're not meeting any enemy armor, and like we don't need that kind of, we need like more mobile tanks, with a higher rate of fire in general, having 4 tanks instead of 3. So, I think most of you would agree. I wonder if that Panther is down. Nope, that was a wake-up shot. I saw the turret move in the last second there. It's still moving. I can't believe it's tanked these 100mm shells. And it still is. If they can hit, that is. DP gun here on the right side engaging a half-track and infantry. It's closer because we got Germans right on the other side here. They're getting really close now. Oh. Whew. Those mortars are going hot. Oh, that MG42 sounds nice. I really do like the MG34 and 42 sound in vanilla game too. I have to emphasize that. Like, they sound really nice. It's really hard to hear a big difference for like the specific guns. It sounds different at a range. That's where the system is different. But up close, you know, some are better, some are worse. It's a really tight game in between that. It's, you know, my personal choice would be to mix some of the sounds from the vanilla game and some from the sound mod collection of other sounds. Like, as I said, I prefer the PPSH over the modded sound, but the MG42 might have a slight edge, etc., etc. There's a huge array of weapons, so you'll really have to get into detail when talking about that. Alright, so we got mortars landing pretty accurately here, knocking out half-tracks. But the Germans are getting closer this time around than previously. This is where one of the Tigers went down in the first battle as well. And we saw crewmen fighting around this woodpile. Half-track moving up now. I do also like the muffled sounds of the rifles in this game. It sounds very nice at a distance as well. Oh, they're trying to kill the gunner. That MG is pinning them down. Oof! Knockout. Crew is out. That Panther's still going at it. Here's some gunshots here. Could it be pistols from a crewman? Could be. This trench looks pretty emptied out. We got Germans here in the forest as well. Yeah, we have one soldier with a pistol. He must have been out of his primary gun. That's why he's using his pistol. He's leading a few foot soldiers there on the ground. One of these Stugs is still active. I thought it was down here in that huge field of mortar holes. But guys, I think we can start rounding this one up. This is a win for the Soviets again. Like, these trenches and defenses, and especially the mortars that just fired a whole song of shots, seems to be enough to hold them back. Let's have a look at casualties inflicted by the mortars. Let's open up the minimap so we can have a look at the current active fighters. The Soviets have more. But in all fairness, the Germans... There we go. That one of the tanks just went off the list completely, and it was indeed that Panther who finally took a killing shot. So they're down to just a handful of men and a Stug moving up. Right, so with the Soviets, let's have a look at mortars. 24 have fallen to this 120 mil in 2 vehicles. On the right side, another 34 in 3 vehicles have fallen victim to that 120 mil. So those two in between have killed almost 60 men. Back here, the 80 mils are looking at 16, 10, and 12. So an average of like 13. Very nice indeed. And they've also destroyed half-tracks. 2 of them have destroyed 2 or 1 or more. So very, like, I think the mortar support is just... It's devastating. To have mortars supporting you, looking at the craters, is a big deal. Had we removed all 5 mortars, or perhaps just left these 3 back here, I think the situation would be very different, because these 120 mils up front are the deadliest weapons the Soviets have. No machine gunner or cannon or anything else have done anything nearly as much damage. This Dushka has killed 1 soldier. This Dushka has killed 2. And this, if there's anything left of it, there's not because it's blown to pieces, but I would say that's killed about 1 or 2 as well. So the Maxim guns, this is interesting to look at. The Maxim here has killed 1. This Maxim has killed 0. And this Maxim it's gone. It's blown to pieces. I understand. We just got 2 kind of confused crewmen there that are joining the fight again. Now we got small... Ooh, cool engagement here. Ooh, nice. PPS 43 salvo into his chest. That's going to kill him. Mortars, nerf or buff? I think nerf would be the goal, but then again, I'm using a pretty excessive amount. I don't think this is a hugely excessive amount. It's just 3 back here and 2 there, and that's a pretty big battle. But let's just be honest here, the Soviets would need them. Otherwise, this would probably have been a German defeat, considering the fact that those mortars in combination have killed pretty much the vast majority of the German attack. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the sound mod. I think it's best if Hang 'em High explains what he's done with whatever coding and sort of shaping of his sound mod. It's, as I said, it's not just replaced sounds. Him and I both want to repeat that the sound design in this game in basis, like the vanilla version, the sound design the developer has done for this mod or game is fantastic, and I've pointed it out in all the previous videos how stunning it is. So yeah, let me just know what you think about this. As I said, once again, some sounds are better, some are worse. The best would be a mix of both worlds, the vanilla game and the sound mod, to reach the perfect combo. But usually when modifying something, you modify absolutely everything or just a single thing. There's not usually where you just modify 4 out of 6 weapons and then leave the other 2 out. So yeah, it's either just like an MG42 sound mod where just the MG42 is replaced, or everything. That's usually the case with modding. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys soon again. Ciao. Things heated up there. I couldn't quite quit. But anyway, see ya.